have talked about this before too. You know, marketers have a history of, hey, I'm really busy. I'm really, really busy. Man, I got a lot on my plate. There's a lot going on. And then when the CEO says, okay, so what's your success measures? How is all of that activity manifesting itself in growing our business? Well, I can't really measure this, and I can't, you know, I mean, Deming said years ago, you know, if you can't measure, it's not real. You know, and there's a lot of contemporary thinking now that, you know, marketing and growing the business is what business is all about. You know, that's the fundamental function. Everything else is an expense. And if we start thinking of ourselves in that way and saying to ourselves, is this activity that I'm doing today driving our business forward? And if the CEO walked in right now, I could prove it. That's a real different game. And I like what you said too about, you know, the language of the C-suite. Both marketers understanding the language of you know, what's happening in the C-suite and not going in there and talking about click-throughs and billboards and creative, but talking about, you know, the contribution margin for joint replacement, you know, in this category is this. And you want to grow this by 1,500 cases this year. That means this. Here's the why of that contribution margin. What would you be willing to invest in order to get that? 10%, 15%, 20%? You know, is there a competitive situation where we would be willing to invest 25%? You know, in order to shift that competitive advantage. That's a different conversation from, you know, what color do you like? You know, and I mean, I'm not saying color's not important. I was in a meeting not too very long ago where we were building some facilities, and the architects and building people came in, and they had, you know, those boards with all the colors and stuff like that. And I said, just a thought. I said, did you realize that beige and tan are the least favorite colors by men and women in our target market? And they looked at me and said, well, what do you mean? I said, and I had a color wheel to show that it was the least favorite color. And they said, nobody ever mentioned that before. I said, well, that's what marketing does, right? That's what I was leading to earlier, that we are the most qualified in our organizations to help our organizations see this is why people choose. This is how they feel. This is where they are. You know, and kind of getting back even to the millennial, if we understand that that population is getting HelloFresh delivered to their doors, they're buying their glasses on Warby Parker, they're getting, you know, things on Zillow, you know, they're getting everything on their phone, and we hand them a clipboard that looks like it came out of a, you know, World War II Army surplus store and say, hey, you have to fill this out again for the 7th time. It doesn't work. And that's why this idea of a contemporary marketer going from an obsolete strategy of brand awareness to a contemporary strategy of brand relevance, that's how we're going to make an impact. That's how the C-suite's going to say, wow, these people really know what they're doing, and they are an incredible business asset to our company.